Put it back in my pocket.
Yeah.
I've been on that Dr. Sabi cleanse, bro. So I
Again?
kind of, yeah, I had to make sure
Yeah, I already know.
the Browns was at the Super Bowl.
Hey,
I had to make sure the
yes,
Browns was at the
sir.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I already know. I had laid off that cleanse tea that I was on. I used to drink that mud every. I fell back
Shalom.
off that mud. Shalom. Uh, Sister Barbara. Aqua Barbara in there.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, Mark. Let me get my other screen up.
Shalom. Shalom. To the 12 tribes, Captain hold their heads high. Shalom. Shalom. I divide in the house of he good.
Uh,
Shalom. Shalom. Soldier Ezra. Shalom. You already know, man. I've told you I like to let me back off what Captain Benaniyah was already doing yesterday. But I'm tell you something, man. Them Christian scoffers gonna learn quit playing with Captain Benaniyah, man.
yeah. Sometimes I gotta leave out and come back, but I gotta stay in the spirit, man. They about to make
Ah,
come through the screen on them, man.
boy, that's funny, man. Boy, Shalom, Shalom. Boy, they gonna learn. Boy, I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about, man. Captain Benaniyah, let it say.
And he let her come on in. I said, nah, you ain't gonna get no link. Let her
It
come
was
on
love.
in. I said, okay. Gonna have his way with him. He was in the trying to lie to the people in the chat. Talking about, oh,
Mm-hmm.
any people in the chat, you better answer the gate. Do the Edomites gate? Then he said, I'm going to Judah gate. I said, oh man. I
What get
said,
what
Edom.
man? Christ ain't got no gate.
Exactly. Christ
He
already
gonna
there.
be he gonna be sitting out judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
I'm telling you.
And if Christ had, and even if Christ had a gate, guess what? It'll be what? The tribe of Judah.
God. He said, I'm going in the Judah gate. I said, how? Edom ain't got a gate. Esau is Edom. Jacob comes from the seed of Judah. He didn't want to
Yeah.
deal with that. He kept trying to part. I said, yeah, I know. I know.
Boy, I'm talking about look, Captain Benaniah was busting the skin off his head. Uh,
I
I'm gonna
know.
tell you,
No.
I'm gonna tell you how crafty these bastards is though. What they try to do, this is what he went all the way around the world just to ask
Mm-hmm.
a small point, thinking that he think he gonna catch somebody else. That's the reason why I say, man, I'm gonna tell you, I got to make this plain. I love my brothers. They debaters and they like to debate. But when you get on there debating and not just really pulling scriptures to prove your point, but you just on there just trying to catch people up with words and wordplay,
Yeah.
that gives these heathens a point that they want to get on here when they try to debate us. Guess what they try to do? They want to use this wordplay stuff to try
Mm-hmm.
to go back and forth. Brothers got to stop doing it, man. I don't care who it is, and I don't give a damn what camp it is. Y'all call it how you want to, but they got to stop doing it. That's the reason why
Yeah.
all these heathens want to come up here and think, bro, y'all don't even supposed to be teaching the Bible. They don't even supposed to have a damn Bible in their hand, but they think they got a chance because they see little outlets that y'all give them because they see how we try to catch each other. Man, nobody, bro, if I'm sitting up here debating, you're not going to catch me up with this, with wordplay. No, what does the scripture say, brother?
Exactly.
Plain. That's it. If the scripture say something, then this is what we going with, right? That's,
Mm-hmm.
that's total madness, man. Let's go to Romans chapter 3, man. So Captain
Uh,
Benaniyah was here, yeah, man, yesterday. All right. It is madness, man. These heathens be trying to try to find a way in, man.
Hey,
Can't get in this,
with
man.
he came in there with his humble on 5%. Captain
Boy.
Benaniyah beat that for him in about 5 minutes. Then that pride
Mm,
came out.
That's what it's all. That's what always happens. Go to Romans chapter 3. We're gonna start from the top, man. Cause
Verse 1.
that's what always happens. They come up in there and they can try to be slick all they want to, but they got so much pride on me, it won't stay long. It will
God.
not stay long, man. It won't stay long. Oh, beating the dog off of them. Read that.
God. The book
Shalom,
of
shalom,
Romans.
chat.
God, the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew?
Uh-huh.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
This is what we're gonna touch on. What profit is there of the circumcision? We're gonna try to get into a little circumcision, get some understanding on about circumcision. Because a lot of times when you see brothers, they come in there and they trying to break down circumcision, they trying to get some understanding. We're gonna try to go through there a little bit today to give brothers and sisters clarity. Because a lot of time if Christians, Christians, uh let me give y'all some fighting power. Let me give y'all some what it says. What advantage then had the Jew, or what profit is there as a circumcision? Right? It's verse 2. I agree.
Verse, much in every way.
Much in every way, read.
Chief, because that unto them were committed the oaths of God.
Meaning, guess what? It's the circumcision profit us every way because we was given the law, statutes, and commandments.
God.
If the book of Romans, the book of Ephesus, the book of Ephesians, the book of Colossians, all these is places that Paul is writing epistles to, right?
God.
Let me help them out, man. If y'all want, Christians, y'all want some firepower, you shouldn't have went to chapter 3. Chapter 3 busts y'all ass. Look here, it don't make no sense. Watch this. Let me help y'all out so y'all can get y'all a little firepower. Maybe y'all come in a little stronger, and maybe you might have a little firepower. So if say if a person is not unlearned, you might have opportunity. But you know what the point that y'all can't get it? If a person was learned, guess what would happen? They know not to battle a person in these scriptures if they unlearned. If a brother and sister don't learn, don't go back and forth with nobody. Right?
Mm.
Watch this. Jump over to chapter 2. And this is right here, might give you a half a chance with a fight. Right? Jump up to chapter 2, verse 24. Read it.
The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 4. For the
Mm-hmm.
name of God is blasphemy among the Gentiles
Mm-hmm.
through you, as it was written.
So guess what? It's saying he said the name of God was blasphemed among the Gentiles through you as it is written. Watch how it is go. They got a little fight in chapter 2. It's a little fight there. It's a little fight. It's a little fight in chapter 3, but it's more fight for them in chapter 2. He should have went to chapter 2. Maybe you had a better little, but that shows a brother or a brother shows a brother when you dealing with people. It shows them how unlearned that a person is when you see them going to places that you know that you can get them at. This is a common thing.
God.
If some if somebody come in there, the prime example. When somebody comes to you with John 3:16, get what you should automatically know. This person is unlearned.
God.
When somebody come to you with Galatians chapter 3, you neither Jew nor Greek. That should show you that that person is a little bit more learned than John chapter 3, verse 16. You brothers understand that. When somebody come to you and he trying to break down the circumcision, get what it lets you know. He is a little bit learned than Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. Neither Jew nor Greek. You brothers understand that.
God.
But when you see people try to go into when you see people try to go into uh you'll see people try to go into Acts. When you see a Christian go into Acts and he's trying to defend Acts, you got to know that that Christian is a little bit more higher level than most Christians, because they know the book of Acts uh gives you the understanding of Romans, Corinthians, Ephesians, Colossians. It know that it gives you a better understanding of Paul's letters when you go in the book of Acts. If you can learn the book of Acts first, all the rest of Paul's letters goes a whole lot better. But before you read Acts, you want to have a good understanding of the Old Testament before you get there, right?
Con.
So when you defending it, you have a good opportunity to get a good battle. Tell you, man, th- this is why they don't have a leg to stand, but they got a little bit. It's certain key points that they can possibly try to get in, but every time they don't have enough understanding, right, to battle us. So guess what they'll do? It's all about uh running, right? Because we'll
Mm-hmm.
pin their ass into you. You know how Big Brother do. He pin both of them arms down, or Big Cousin, they pin them arms down and they punch you in your face. That's what we do to them all the time. We get on top of them, we pin their arms down with our knees, and then we just get all the face punches and slaps we want. You know how I used to Big Cousin, or Big Cousin did you like that, or Big Brother did you like that. Pin your arms down, boy, and get all the licks they want, you know? But this is where he should have started it. But mind you, if he'd have started there, if he ain't got enough on him, he was gonna lose terribly. You understand what I'm saying? He was gonna lose terribly. He went to chapter 3 and lost terribly like that, but he went to chapter 2 and it would have got demolished. But let's read it. Watch how it go. Read verse
But
25.
24, verse 25. For
Uh,
circumcision barely profiteth, if thou keep the
you see how they
but
go?
God,
But read,
but if
read.
thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made circumcision.
Y'all, you see that? This is a little inkling. You see what I'm saying? They had
Yeah.
it. He could. But if he went here and don't know and don't know how to back this up, this will make you get destroyed. And I'm talking about, you know, what it say, we ain't trying to make ourselves as Christ, but we want a little bit more fight than what y'all give, because that fight that y'all give is not enough, man. They so unlearned. Read verse 25 again. Watch this.
Verse,
We're gonna and stop at the commas. We're gonna show them how to break
I
it
got
down.
you.
Let's read this.
God, the book of Romans, chapter 2, 25. For circumcision barely profiteth.
It said, circumcision verily profited. Your answer is chapter 3, verse 1. It said, what advantages of the Jew and what prophecies of the circumcision? Verse 2, it said, much in every way, chiefly because unto them were committed the oracles of God. This is your answer, Israelites. This is simple. They go there. You ain't got to jump down chapter 3, because it's one continuing letter. If brothers and sisters understood it. Before they put the numbers and letters in here, before they put the numbers and chapters, this was one letter. That's why when
God,
you read down to chapter 3, verse 2, this gives you a better understanding of it. Right?
God,
And now when you read verse 25, it said, for what? It said, for circumcision barely profited. Profited what? It's saying, it's giving you the answer in verse 2, chapter 3 and verse 2. So Officer Barakai.
God,
Read verse 25. Read on.
God. If thou keep the law,
He said, if thou keep what law? This is going into the law of sacrifice, right? And
God.
it's going to explain it. Read on.
But if thou be a breaker of the law,
Mm-hmm.
thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
And you see how funny this is. Watch this. It says, if thou keepest the law, who was the law given to? Right?
God,
And he said, if thou be a breaker of the law, Who can break the law? This is talking to one group of people.
God,
So if they try to go there, brothers should not get hung up on this thing, man. Right?
God,
JD, that's a good precept. Right?
God.
Become, yes. Verse 26. Watch this read.
26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteous of the law,
Uh-huh.
shall not his uncircumcision be counted circumcision?
Brothers, this is plain, right? But guess what? Guess what they'll try to do? Shalom, shalom, Sister Mary Houston. Guess what they'll try to do? They'll if a person if that dude was a little bit more learned, he would have ran here first.
God,
He jumped straight to chapter 33 and verse 19. Unlearned, right? And he said if and cause I really try, it ain't no bragging or nothing like that. But we see how they go and we see how they trying to play these games. We not going for that, right? We not gonna go for it, right?
God,
But what we do, if if brothers don't even know how to do precept upon precept, you ain't gotta do to keep reading down. This mug answer itself, right?
God.
But let's read it though. But we gonna go into circumcision. We gonna go into it
Verse
today.
verse 26.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law,
What's the
not
righteousness of the law? What's the righteousness of the law? What's the righteousness of the law? What brother? Give me a precept for the righteousness of the law. Give me the precept for righteousness of the law. I need a precept. Shalom, Mousa Berekaya. I need a precept. Give me the precept for the righteousness of the law. Give me the precept for the righteousness of the law. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's go there. Deuteronomy 6 and 25. That's one of them.
mm-hmm,
That's one of them. 6 and 25. Let's go there. Let's read
God.
it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if
Mm-hmm.
we observe to do all these commandments before the our God as he have commanded us.
So all the law that the Lord commanded us is what the righteousness of the law.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Christians get their skin peeled off, right?
God,
All these commandments is for us. Go to I'm in another precept. It says Isaiah 51 and 17. I mean 51 and 7. Get another one, man. I know brothers got it in them. If they ain't
what
sleep
about
already.
Psalms 119 and 172?
Yeah, that's a good one too. Read that Isaiah 51 and 7.
God. The book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 7. Hearken
Mm-hmm.
unto me, ye know righteousness, the
Mm-hmm.
people in whose heart is my.
Become.
Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings.
So neither don't be afraid of their rebellion, man. So you see everybody that keeps the law. That's a good precept, brother. Brother JD. Damn good precept. What we gonna do? Oh yeah. You can read that Psalm chapter 119 and verse 7 too.
All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 1 and 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteous.
Big con. Go to Romans chapter 10 and verse 5.
All right.
Yeah.
10. Got you. The book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 5. For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law,
Which is
that
of the law. Read.
God, that the man doeth those things shall live by them.
This is the same thing that they saying in Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3. That man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord. This is plain. It's going into the same thing. So when y'all reading it, it goes into, that's why it's saying that everybody that do that will live by, shall live, shall like it, man, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them, right? But it goes like I divided, put down and put the precept down. It goes all the way down to 17, right? All these is good precepts, man. All these is dang good precepts. Even that Psalm chapter 119, verse 142 is a good precept. You can put that down beside that. That's a good
172.
precept. No, 119, verse 142 is a
Oh,
good one
oh,
too.
oh, oh, Slakia.
You said, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
It's the
That's a good
truth.
one.
Yep. God.
That's a dang good one too. That's a dang good one too. Let's go back.
Mhm.
There, Philippians 3 and 9 is a good one too. All of them good precepts, right? It said
God.
if the uncircumcised keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? Right? So this is the funny thing what Christians try to do and what all these heathens try to do too. And our people do the same thing too. This following their customs so earnestly. What they try to do when the Lord is talking about these people being uncircumcised, it's not talking about the other nations in this context. Now it is context that the Lord called these other nations, like just like David called his Philistine uncircumcised Philistine, right? But what makes the other nations uncircumcised? They can't keep the law, or they don't even understand, and they can't even hear the law, right?
Mm-hmm.
But watch this though. Let's read on though.
God. Verse
Verse
27.
27. Mm-hmm.
And shall not be, and shall not uncircumcision, which by nature,
Mm-hmm.
if it fulfill the law, judge thee,
Right?
who by the letter and circumcision doest transgress the law.
He said, who by the letter he said, who by the letter and circumcision do transgress the law? He said, who transgress the law? Right? Read.
God. Verse 28. For he is not a Jew,
Mm-hmm.
which is one outwardly,
Which is one of
neither,
the flesh. Read.
God, is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh.
Believing is that circumcision outward in the flesh. Go to Colossians 2 in verse 11.
God. The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse, in whom also ye are circumcised,
Mm-hmm.
circumcision made without hands.
And there's a circumcision made without hands, because what happened? The circumcision was first what? Made with hands.
Mm-hmm.
Now the circumcision right now that they speaking of in the New Testament is talking about the circumcision that's made without hands. Read.
And putting body of the sins of the flesh
So
by the
this is
circumcision of Christ.
just hold on. So it
It was
said
no
off. It
comma.
said
My bad.
I know in putting off the body of sin of the flesh. So when we go back to read this, when it's talking about putting off the body of sin of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ, right? This right here touches on that Jeremiah chapter 26, chapter 9 and verse 26. Let's go there right quick. Then we go back. We go back
Book of
to
Jeremiah, chapter
Romans.
9, verse 26.
Okay.
Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab and
Mm-hmm.
all that are in the utmost corner that dwell in the wilderness,
Right.
for all the nations are uncircumcised,
Right.
and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart.
It's talking about in the heart. This
Mm-hmm.
is not talking about a fleshly thing. So when we went into the wilderness, meaning what we was unlearned, meaning
Con,
guess what? Our heart wasn't for the Lord. Even though we seen all these things, it's showing us plainly that guess what? We was right among these other nations, and our hearts was uncircumcised too. Right? This is how you make your circumcision unrighteousness, right? And
con,
this say because the last part is the heavy part, and all of the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart, not in flesh, right? But these other nations, but when you go, but when you read the Colossians chapter 2 and verse 11, it said putting off the body of sin of the flesh, right? Meaning carnal sins that'll put you uncircumcised, right?
con,
Let's go back, man. Romans chapter 2 and verse 29.
con. The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a Jew, which
Mm-hmm.
one inwardly,
Which one inwardly by the flesh read,
and circumcision is that of the heart,
right? Is circumcision is dead of the heart. Read.
in the spirit,
No.
and not in the letter,
Guess what? It's
whose
it being in the spirit and not in the letter of the law, but in the spirit. Watch this read.
praise is not of men but of
Mm.
God.
Go to First Corinthians chapter 7. This goes in the Lord saying you can be circumcised in the flesh, but not be the Lord saying that you can be circumcised in the flesh and not keep the commandments. It's still not gonna profit you nothing, right? But we're gonna
Con,
touch on some more on this circumcision because we ain't gonna leave it blank, right?
con,
First Corinthians chapter 7, start at verse 18.
con. The book of First Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 18. Is any man called being circumcised?
Is any man called is asking the question, is any man called being circumcised? Read.
Let him not become uncircumcised.
So guess what? That meaning a man. So if you circumcised in the flesh already, how could you become uncircumcised in the flesh? It does not. That doesn't mean that. That's the reason why when Paul's breaking down circumcision, it's not talking about a spirit. It's not talking about a physical because you can't make yourself uncircumcised after you done been circumcised. You can't put your foreskin back on. It's gonna stay. It don't make no sense, right? Right? You can't put the
Con,
foreskin back on, right? So this is talking about spiritually, right? It said so. It said, "Let not him become uncircumcised." Right? Read.
con, con. Is any called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised.
And this when they explain it. Read.
Circumcision is nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
uncircumcision is nothing,
But
but
what?
the keeping of the commandments of God.
This is where it lay at, man. Because a lot of times, this is what Captain Benaniyah was breaking down to this brother that he didn't even understand. To this Edomite that he was on the live with. This is what he was breaking down to him. If you don't get circumcised in the eighth day, brother, you not keeping the commandments, no way. That was you got to be keeping the commandment, man. You got to be the commandment was what? You being circumcised on the eighth day. Go to Acts
Con,
chapter 7, right? That's why him going that way made himself look like a fool, man. Right? Matter of fact, uh uh Acts chapter 3 and verse 19 and 20. I mean, not Acts, like Romans chapter 3, verse 19 and 20. Let's go there first, then we go over there to Acts.
all right. So we're going back to Romans.
Yeah, go to Romans chapter 3.
All right, con. All right, I'm now. You want
No, we're going verse 19.
we'll keep it. Verse 19, con. All right. The book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 19. Now we know that what things soever the law saith is said to
Mm-hmm.
them who are under the law.
So
Oh,
it's
that's tough.
whoever said, bro, I'll tell you, this is
I
what he
like
wanted to
that.
battle Captain. This is what he wanted to battle Captain Benaniyah with, man. I was like, this fool is crazy. I'm sitting up here, I'm driving home yesterday, and I'm sitting up here listening. I said, this fool is, I'm like, man, I don't know why he went to Romans chapter 3. This is,
He said he had a conversation with somebody and he was just trying to see what we thought about
man, look here. This fool right
it.
here.
I like that. I like that 319. I like that.
Burrito.
Con, I'm going to read from the top. The book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 19. Now we know that whatsoever the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law,
Read.
that every mouth may be stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and all the world may become guilty before God.
Right, read on.
Therefore, the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Right.
For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
So by the law is the knowledge of sin.
Hmm.
Brothers and sisters, y'all make sure y'all right. Verse 20 is heavy than a mug. The only way you can sin is just lets you know in verse 20. It says, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. People would not know that they sinning if they don't know the damn law.
Huh.
Bros, I hope y'all paying attention to this thing, right? Let's go to Acts chapter 7, man. Yeah, let's go to Acts chapter 7, man.
Huh.
What's this, man?
All right, I'm
Acts
now.
chapter 7, we're going to go to verse 8.
Huh. The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 8. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision.
He gave, and he's going to show you who he gave the covenant of circumcision, right? Read it.
And so Abraham begat Isaac
Mm-hmm.
and circumcised him the eighth day.
Which was according to law, right?
Huh.
Read.
And Isaac begat Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs.
So These were all the people that was given the law of circumcision. How then they can go and go now all of a sudden now you can go circumcised. Acts chapter 7, it says, he gave him the covenant of circumcision. Where then can all nations come in and be circumcised according to this right here? Because as far as what we concerned, we know Esau don't give into that because of what? Esau, you'll be born today. Esau circumcised our children the same day.
Okay.
If it ain't the same day, it'd be the next day.
Man, he'll cut the
Because,
cord and circumcise them in the same swipe. If you
but
could,
I'm talking about one swipe, man. Come on,
I'm
smack
telling
your
you.
ass, cut the umbilical cord and circumcise your children right there. You have to
Mm-hmm.
watch it, man. Shit. Yeah, they just trying to do anything, man.
But I tell
Right?
you, gun.
That lets us know, man. It lets us know this is what he gave this to. Let's go to that law, Leviticus chapter 12. Make sure, bro, let's just write that down. 12, verse 1 through 3. That's what I got on mine.
What on your Acts 7 to 8?
Acts 7 and 8. You put that Leviticus chapter 12. And you also put that Genesis chapter 17, because we going there next, because this is what this explains. This is gonna go to the explanation of Abraham getting the law of circumcision.
Gun. I put
Let's
that
go
Romans
down.
3 and 19 and 20 up there too.
Yeah. Make sure you
All
line
right,
it
so
up with it.
gun. Share Leviticus 12. All right.
12
All right.
start at verse
You want
1.
me to start at 3? Okay, you want me to go at 1? All right.
Mhm.
All right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, if a
Mhm.
woman have conceived seed and born a man child,
Mhm.
then she shall be unclean 7 days.
7 days, read.
According to the days of the separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean.
Meaning after she done gave birth, she bleed for a few days, right? For some days, read.
And in the 8th day of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
And it makes it plain. This is the law
Mm-hmm.
for that a
God.
child, if a woman conceive a man child, guess what? The baby should be doing what? Uh, she should be
Circumcised on the
circumcising them on that day. But you need to put Leviticus chapter 15, verse 14 on down. Uh, this goes into Leviticus chapter 15, verse 12 on down. I read 14 the point. Back then, this is where they had to go get what after they have the 7 day issue of blood, they go get what on the 8th day. It shall matter of fact, let's go there because
okay.
this was part of the circumcision too. They had to get a sacrifice. This breaks down when we read. This talking about if you keep that law. This law right here. This breaks down right here the understanding of why they don't understand nothing about circumcision.
God.
Right. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 15.
God.
Right. And verse 14. See if it say the same thing that Leviticus chapter 12 said. Right. See if this saying the
God.
same thing Acts chapter 7 and verse 8 is saying. Because these things are saying one and the same. Right. We'll read this out.
God. The book of Leviticus 15, verse 14. And on the 8th day shall
Mm-hmm.
shall he take to him 2 turtle doves
Right.
or 2 young pigeons.
Jump up to verse 13 because I want it all because I don't want to miss it because they'll try to play that game, but I want it all. Just read that.
God. The book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 13. And when he that have an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number himself 7 days for his cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
and wash his clothes and his flesh in running water,
This
and
is
shall be
goes into
clean.
so this goes into a woman having an issue, and if a man touch her, right? But this part right
Mhm.
here goes into that. And this goes into the watch this. Read on.
Con, verse 14. And on the he shall take to him two turtle doves,
Mm-hmm.
or young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give
Mm-hmm.
them unto the priest.
Right. So give
And
them
the
unto the
oh,
priest.
Salakia,
This goes into an offering, right? But read.
Con, and the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the
Right.
other for a burnt offering.
Mm-hmm.
And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his.
And so the priest should make an atonement for his issue. For the what? Meaning what? The 7 days. Right? And on the eighth day, this is when they do what? Give out the two turtle doves. Right? This goes
Con,
into the offerings. Right? This goes into the offerings that they gave, right? Uh
you got new Salakia. Just
right. Watch this. Go to Genesis chapter 17. Mm.
uh,
So like, bear with me for 1 second. I'm gonna look at
no, no,
something.
no. Take your time.
Uh, let me look at something right quick. Mm-mm. Mm. Uh, yeah. Go there. Where you at? What did I say to go to?
You said go to Genesis 17.
Yeah.
You still
And even uh, uh, mm,
Ezra said
because I
we
want
we getting laggy. Said we chopped and screwed a little bit.
um my bad, man. No, I was kind of looking down in my book, but it was some more on that Genesis on that Leviticus chapter 15 too.
You
But
want to go back?
uh uh it's just basically saying the same thing because it goes into the woman on verse 28 and 29 and 32.
Yeah.
So it goes
In
into
that
that too.
Genesis, in that Genesis 10, you wanted 10 through 14,
Nah.
talking about the
Yeah, yeah,
circumcision.
yeah, 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 heck yeah, that's what I want.
Uh,
All right.
Let me know
But
when you
what
start.
because I want to show y'all something in this too. I want to show y'all something too. Because just like Captain Benaniyah was saying, he was saying also, he was telling them Abraham wasn't circumcised on the eighth day. All right. Jump down to verse
Mm,
24. It's gonna show you. And it's gonna show you Ishmael too. So that means Abraham, and he's gonna show you another nation too being circumcised. But this was the Lord commanded Abraham because this was the institution of circumcision, right? Verse 23, y'all.
Con. The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 23. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all
Mm-hmm.
that were born in the house,
Right?
and all that were brought with his money, Every
Because
male among
this is
you.
talking about the handmaid and all his servants, right? So meaning just like with us, if we had servants, guess what they would be? If they couldn't stay in our house, they could not live with us if we didn't circumcise them. Yeah, the heathen have to keep these laws too. Understand that thing, right?
Con,
But read on.
con. The book of chapter 17, verse 23 from the top. And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, all that were born in his house, and all that were brought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and
Mm-hmm.
circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day.
Mm-hmm.
God had said unto him,
So the Lord told, as the Lord told him to do, right? Read.
Con. And Abraham was 90 years old, and
Uh-huh. He was 99 years old, right? Read.
he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
You understand that? Abraham was 99 years old when he got circumcised.
Con.
Verse 25.
Verse 20. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
So is that the same law for the children of Israel or this for a heathen?
Hmm.
Yeah. You see the difference between the two. The children of Israel, they got to be as the Lord commanded them. But these other
Con.
nations, you see, Ishmael was 13 years old. Folks got to understand that, man. Right? You got to understand it. Hey, it's levels to this,
Con.
right? But read on.
Con. Verse 26. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son,
Right. Read on.
and all the men of his house, born in the house, and brought with money of the stranger, circumcised with him.
Right? Meaning what? Everybody this like the Lord say, can nobody live with you, Abraham? All these, everybody live with you got to be circumcised. Right? Jump up to verse 10. Now we go up to verse 10. This is going into the covenant of circumcision. Just like you say, Abraham was 99 years old, but when you read in Acts chapter 7, the way say this law of circumcision came through what? Abraham, right?
Con.
And it was passed on through Isaac and through Jacob, right?
Con.
Let's read that.
Book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 10. This is my covenant. Ye shall keep between me and you and thy
Between me
seed
and you,
after.
it said between me and you and your seed after you, meaning what? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Con.
Yes, Ishmael got it because they lived in the household. And everybody that
Mm-hmm.
lives with us, guess what? If we had the other nations, if we was in our homeland and the other nation was living with us, guess what they had to do? They even gonna be circumcised and living with us too. They can't live with
Yep.
no unclean, clean stuff like that. No, be trying to come in
Con.
and sit all over our toilets and stuff. Hell no. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? Hell no. Get
Con.
your nasty butt up, right?
To
But
have an
read on.
outhouse.
But for
And
real though.
every man child among you shall be circumcised,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your skin,
Mm-hmm.
and it shall be a token of the betwixt me and you.
Right, read.
And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations, he
Mm-hmm.
born in the house or brought with money of any which is
Mm-hmm.
not of thy seed.
Right? Meaning, guess what? Everybody that was bought with money, they got to be circumcised. But it's gonna go into a little
Con,
bit more detail, right? But watch
con.
this, read.
He that is born in thy house, and he is brought with thy money, must needs be circumcised.
I mean, just like I was explaining to you. If you bought this person with money or whatever, they got to be circumcised, man.
Con,
Read on.
And my covenant shall be in flesh for an everlasting covenant.
Right, read on.
And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his fore is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people.
Mm-hmm.
He have broken my covenant.
He had broken his covenant, man. Watch this. Go to Genesis chapter 21.
All right.
Start at verse 3.
God. The book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 3. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac.
He called him Isaac. Read.
And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had
Mm-hmm.
commanded him.
So they're letting you know from this point on to from this point on, guess what was commanded for him to do? To circumcise his children on the 8th day.
God,
So this is right here. They're letting you know, yeah, on the first circumcision, you'll see what's the difference between the two. Like, yeah, Ishmael was a part of the first circumcision, but he was 13 years old, right? But you see with Isaac did it according to what? The commandment, right?
God,
And what I said, that's the reason why, like, you can't get caught up in what the Christians say because they don't. If they understood what circumcision was, they wouldn't even battle us on it. But when you want to play, when you want to play trickery with the scriptures, this is what get people hung up, man.
God.
Word play and trickery. Ain't no word playing trickery,
Mm-hmm.
man. Right? We ain't doing no word playing trickery. Right? You got to think
God.
on how Moses taught. Moses talking about a person. You can become uncircumcised. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you some different uncircumcision. Go to Exodus right quick. Watch it.
All right.
Uh, go to start at verse
What chapter you want?
20. Exodus chapter 6 and verse 28.
God.
Yeah, go to verse 28.
God. The book of Exodus, chapter 6, verse 28.
Yeah.
And it came to pass on the day when the Lord spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Lord
Mm-hmm.
spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Lord. Speak
Mm-hmm.
thou unto Pharaoh, king of
Mm-hmm.
all
Right.
that I say unto thee.
So this is what the Lord can come into Moses and telling him to speak unto Pharaoh, right? But watch this read.
And Moses said before the Lord, Behold, I have uncircumcised lips,
Mm-hmm.
and how shall Pharaoh unto me?
And so what kind of uncircumcised is this?
He wasn't fluent in Egyptian. Wait, no. I'm saying it backwards. In the Hebrew.
Mhm. In the Hebrew.
I said it
No, he's
backwards.
talking
Yeah.
to no, he's talking to Pharaoh. The Lord told him to go speak to Pharaoh.
Oh, this is when he say he wasn't eloquent, like an eloquent speaker.
Yeah, no, because if we read in Acts chapter 7, Moses was mighty in the customs of Egypt. What kind of uncircumcised is this? See how much a person know. How much the brood know. How much the brood know. What uncircumcised it is, man. What uncircumcised is this, man? This is uncircumcised, meaning like he didn't really know what to say. right? Something like I don't know what to say. Well, I'm basically said he was in fear.
Okay.
Uncircumcised of faith. Oh, look, big facts. 420 got it. Uncircumcised of faith. He didn't have the faith. This is what the Lord. This is why the Lord in chapter 7. That's why you see the Lord testing Moses and trying him and showing him like you can do this. And guess what? And you will do this, right?
Con.
That's why the Lord was testing him. Watch this. So when the Lord started testing them, go to John chapter 7. John chapter 7. Watch this. Start at verse. He didn't speak to him. Speak of himself. Mhm. Start at verse 19.
Con. The book of John, chapter 7, verse 19.
I'm like, you hood, man. I get to doing class. Sometimes my nose start itching. Why is my nose itching?
I have no, bro.
Where did it come from, bro?
Like the right
Like,
nostril on the top be itching like a mug, bro. About to scratch the skin.
well, it's like my left side. It's more like what the what?
Con.
Yeah, go
John,
ahead.
chapter 7, verse 19. Did not Moses give you the law,
Right?
and yet none of you keepeth the law? Why go ye about to kill me?
Right? He said, did not Moses give you the law? Right? He said, why you go about to kill me? Right? Read on.
The people answered and said, Thou hast a devil.
He
Who
said,
goeth
man, you
about to
got
kill thee?
he said, who go Christ said, who go but y'all say y'all want to kill a nigga? Well, Christ tough, ain't it, man?
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
But let's read.
Con. Verse 21. Yahweh answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye marvel.
And y'all marvel, read it.
Moses therefore unto you circumcision.
So guess what? This goes into what? The circumcision being passed down from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, and Moses gave them the instruction in Leviticus chapter what? 12 for him to do circumcision on the 8th day.
Con.
He didn't give it to the other nations, he gave it to the children of Israel. Right? Read on.
Con.
That's true,
Moses
Shalom.
therefore Moses therefore to you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers.
So he said, Moses gave you the circumcision. It ain't because what Moses made up. The Lord gave it to Abraham in what chapter? Genesis chapter 17.
Con.
It ain't because of Moses. Moses didn't give you circumcision because he wanted to. The Lord gave this to our fathers, meaning gave it to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Russell's got
Con.
to understand this, man. When you breaking down history, you got to make sure these things be plain, right? This is how you make these things plain, man. Let's read it out.
Con. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise man.
And you on the Sabbath day, you circumcise a man, meaning what? If that 8th day, if a child be born in that 8th day of the child birth, I mean of living on this earth is on the 8th day, and this during the Sabbath, you still got to keep that law. This is what Christ is breaking down plainly. Right?
Con.
Read on.
Verse 23. If a man on the Sabbath day receiveth circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken,
Mm-hmm.
are ye angry at me,
Right, read.
because I have made every whit whole on the Sabbath day?
Right. So read on.
Judge not according to the appearance,
Uh-huh.
but judge right.
So this is why Christ was explaining it to them. Y'all just want to judge just because of it's on a carnal judge. The Lord said, judge righteous judgment. Right? This is something that he wanted us to get a better understanding of, man. Right? Even in circumcision, he wanted us to get the better understanding in circumcision. Right? Because the Lord knew this. He knew we'll be uncircumcised people. Right? Even in the wilderness, we was what? Uncircumcised.
Con.
Right? Go to go to Deuteronomy chapter 30 right quick.
Con.
Before you go there, let's go to Jeremiah 4
All
and
right.
4. Then we go to Deuteronomy 30.
Con.
Jeremiah 4 and 4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Circumcise yourselves to the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and take away the skins of your heart,
Of your mind, read.
ye men and inhabitants
Mm.
of Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
lest my fury come forth like fire,
Mm-hmm.
burn that none can quench it, because
Mm-hmm.
of the evil of your doings.
So this still, like even when you're going back and you reading this still is talking about what? The children of Israel being circumcised in their heart. Where did he get this from?
Um, Leviticus 41.
Leviticus 26, I think it's 4. I said 41.
I think it's 41. That's what it looked like I got written next to it.
And probably is 41.
And I got that Romans
No.
2 and 22 next to it. Whatever which way you want,
You
we go there.
said 26 and 41.
Let me make sure that mug though.
That's the Lord being an enemy to the enemy. You should choose. Yes, right. Read it.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and 41.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have also walked contrary unto them, and
Mm-hmm.
have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Right.
If their uncircumcised hearts be humbled,
Right. Meaning,
and
guess what? When
they
we was in the wilderness, we had an uncircumcised heart. And the Lord said about
uh,
uncircumcised heart, be humble. Read.
and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity,
Mm-hmm.
then will I remember my covenant, and also my covenant with Isaac, and
Mm-hmm.
covenant with Abraham will I
Mm-hmm.
remember, and I will remember the land.
You see how they go?
Con.
This is the reason why. This is the reason why the Lord was telling them. He said, I remember my covenant with. It made it plain. Jacob, then he went down to Isaac, then he went down to Abraham. This is the same thing that it was
Mm-hmm.
breaking down in John chapter 7, what Christ was talking about, right? It also breaks that thing down in Jeremiah chapter 40, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4, right? Now you jump over to
Con.
Deuteronomy chapter 30.
All
The,
right.
the Lord told us to take away, he said, we changed the uncircumcised heart, man. Our uncircumcised heart. He didn't never change it after he made the law of circumcision. That was already stood. And that was already understood. Now the Lord dealing with the uncircumcision of what? Of the heart now. Not to say that, brother, sister, hey, if you can you can circumcise your child on the 8th day, all praise to the Most High. But if you miss
Con.
that day, it's still not going to be counted as doing it on the 8th day. It's just not going to be counted as dead, right?
Con.
It's just not going to be counted as it, right?
Con. That don't take away their heritage. It's just,
Don't it?
hmm,
Because he know we in captivity, and he know this is what great this is what grace come in at.
con.
What if a brother woke up and he's 70 years old, and or what if a brother woke up and he's 90 years old in the truth, and he just woke up and he uncircumcised?
Yep.
Long as he take away the foreskin of his heart in his mind, right?
And keep those commandments. Come.
But it,
Ooh, that's
shoot,
that perfect with that when they say circumcision is nothing, uncircumcision is but the law of
mhm,
God.
that's
Man,
right.
that tied all in.
That's right. That's why we got to do it like that. Read
Come.
it.
I'm at 30. What verse you at, want it?
I'm on verse 6. No, verse 5, 5 and 6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 5. And the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possess,
Mm.
and thou shalt possess it.
Right?
And he will do good and
He do
multiply
thee
thee
good.
above thy fathers.
Right? Read on.
Verse 6. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thy heart.
Right? And it's just the same thing he's telling them in Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 41. It's the same thing. How the Lord said he'll do what? He will take away the uncircumcised heart. Now it's
Come,
telling you that the Lord will uh uh circumcise their heart.
circumcise thy heart. Come,
Just it's just saying in a different form, but it's saying the same thing. Right? Read on.
come. And the heart of thy seed, to
Mm-hmm.
love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou
Mm-hmm.
mayest live.
So this is what the Lord told us to do, right? This is what the Lord told us to do, right? Meaning what? To keep the commandments, right?
Come,
That's what I was breaking this thing down, man. Because you got to think when think about Joshua. When Joshua made it to the promised land, right? I seen that he hood.
come,
Think about Joshua when he made it to the promised land, right? He
come,
said, "Ain't nothing seen me run to the 12." So he called 12 times. What's 12 trial? All praises. Go to Joshua chapter 5, man.
come.
Joshua chapter 5.
I'm now.
Start at verse 1, man.
Come. Joshua chapter 5, verse 1. And it came to pass when all the of the Amorites were on the side of the Jordan westward,
Right?
and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan for the children of Israel.
Meaning they crossed over to Jordan just like they did with Moses. Right?
Come.
Read.
Until we, until we were from before Salakia, until we were passed over, that their heart melted,
Mm-hmm.
neither was there any spirit in them anymore,
Right?
because of the children of Israel.
Read on.
And at that time, the Lord said unto Joshua,
What do
make
you
these
say?
sharp knives
Mm-hmm.
and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time,
To the what?
and
Let's read.
circumcise again the children of Israel second time.
So, meaning what? The first time, what they do?
Well, in regards to why they had to do it, well,
What they do?
these are the children that I guess these are the children that needed to be circumcised at that point.
He said number two. He didn't say the first time.
Okay.
What did he do?
Well, he made us to circumcise again the children of Israel the second time.
What do you do? What would you do? What you do with your swizzle? Don't you sharpen it up too?
God,
Okay, let's read that again.
verse 2 from the top. At that time, the Lord said unto Joshua, make these knives
Mm-hmm.
and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time.
Right?
And
And
Joshua, oh, Salakia.
because of what? Because of what? What? Why was this? Why was this said? Why was this said for him to do this?
Because these people had just came out of Egypt. I don't believe a lot of
Thank
them
you.
were circumcised at that time.
Because that's part of it. That's part of it. I ain't saying that it's not.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
But didn't a lot of the children that was born in the wilderness not get circumcised too?
Some of them did, but some of them didn't. That's part of it.
Okay.
Because of not just uh the physical circumcision. It was what? Also a spiritual circumcision. Why?
To get all them for them from Egypt.
Exactly. To get the
Yeah.
Egyptian ways off of them. Right?
And I think they were getting ready for Passover too.
Yeah.
So
That was later on, like verse 10, 11, 12, like that, to remove
God,
sin. Right?
God. Uh and they face card before they went before the Lord.
You got to get it right. Big
God,
con.
God, God,
Right? But let's read on. Because some of them
God.
got, because the ones that did it, guess what? He still had to perform them. He still had to perform it on the day that they did. But this right here was
Mm,
cleaning up the face card, like you say. Let's
God,
read that.
God. Verse 3. And Joshua made him sharp knife and
Mm.
circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskin.
Mm-hmm. Read.
And this is the cause Joshua did circumcise.
Right? So now it's giving you the understanding of why he did this. Because
God,
certain stuff, like you say, you're not gonna circumcise a man twice.
God,
Now at this point, you just want to, you know what I'm saying? No.
God.
You got to understand this. This goes into the same, just like this. I'm going to show you. I may give you a good example. I'm talking about a fair example. Watch it. Go to John chapter 3. Going into it's going into just like how Nicodemus would talk.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
God.
I know you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. I'm now John chapter. Let's
Verse
see
4.
here.
Verse 4.
God. The book of John, 3, verse 4. Nicodemus saith unto him, how can a man be born again? How can a man be born when he is old?
Mm-hmm.
Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
Y'all understand it?
God,
Goes back into the same thing. It ain't nothing new up on this going. The scriptures keep saying the same thing like this. All right, you just
God,
got to have the breakdown of it, right? This is what it's saying. Oh, can a man? Dang. So you saying a person can be no? It's not can be born again. Why you think
God,
he took away the water on these things, man? Right? Come on, brothers. So you got to understand it, right?
God,
Let's let's go back, man. So I hope you see the correlation, right?
God,
Go back to Joshua chapter 5, verse 4. I just wanted to give you an
uh,
example. I know you can kind of see it now,
yeah,
how this going.
God. So let's see. We was at verse 4, the book of
Verse
Joshua,
4.
chapter 4. And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise all the people that came out of Egypt that were men, even all the men of war died in the wilderness by the way.
By the way, read.
Af- After they came out of
All right, read.
now now all the people that came out were circumcised,
Mm-hmm.
but all the people born in the wilderness by the way as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised.
So that's the reason why I say some of the people were and some of the people wasn't. You understood,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
It's making it plain because some of the people were, some of the people wasn't. But watch this read.
Verse 6. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness,
Mm-hmm.
till all the people were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord.
Meaning what? They had uncircumcised ears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's prove that because you can have uncircumcised ears too. Just go to Jeremiah 6:10 right quick. You can have uncircumcised ears, just like you got uncircumcised lips. Like Moses said,
Uh,
you can have uncircumcised ears too. Go to Jeremiah 6:10 right quick.
all right.
Yeah, when you get there, you can read that.
16. The book of Jeremiah, 6, verse 10. To whom shall I
Say,
and
to
give
whom
warning,
shall I speak and give warning to? Right? Read on.
that they may hear? Behold,
Mhm.
their ear is uncircumcised,
They ears, and it's gonna show you why their ears uncircumcised. Read.
and they cannot hearken.
Right? Read.
Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a
Mm-hmm.
reproach.
Read.
They have no delight in it.
So I mean, when a person can't hear God's words, guess what? Your ears is uncircumcised.
Mm,
Right? So you can have uncircumcised lips, don't guess what? And you can't speak the right things. You can have uncircumcised ears. This goes into the same thing that we read, right?
Con,
Let's go back. When he's talking about the men of the war, men, and because it makes it plain, right? I'm just
con,
trying to give brothers and sisters understanding on how that thing go, man. Right? You can have like I say, you can have uncircumcised lips, but you can have also uncircumcised ear, meaning that you can't hear the word of the Lord. When they just like
con,
they was in all the customers of Egypt, shit, they didn't want to come up out of that thing, man. Right?
con. Joshua 5 and Joshua 5 and 6.
6, we on verse 6, yeah.
Now I'm putting that precept next to it. 5 years uncircumcised. All right. The book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 6 from the top. For the children of
Mm-hmm.
Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness. All the
Mm-hmm.
people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they
They were
obeyed not
consumed. Mm-hmm.
the voice of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
unto whom the Lord sware that he not shew them the land, which the Lord sware unto others that he would give us, a land that milk and honey.
Right, read on, not.
Verse 7. And their children, whom he raised up in their stead,
So the
them,
children that he raised up in their stead, read.
God, them Joshua circumcised,
Mm-hmm.
for they were
Right.
uncircumcised,
Mm-hmm.
because they had not circumcised them by the way.
By the way, read.
And it came to pass, when they had circumcising all the people, that they abode in their place in the camp till they were whole.
Until they were whole. Now, like you say, the ones that the Lord had brought in, guess what the Lord meant? The ones after they forefathers died and the Lord brought in Joshua, that's what Joshua made the big circumcision right then and there. Right? That's why I
God,
say he did perform this, but some of them he did not perform it.
mm,
Right?
God.
Let's go to second Ezra chapter 9 right quick. Right.
Put that
Uh
9 and 22.
we're gonna go up higher though.
God,
We're gonna start at verse 19.
all right. The book of Second, chapter 9, verse 19. For then everyone obeyed, but now the them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by perpetual seed,
Right, read.
and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves.
They read themselves, right? This is the same spirit that they had then. It's the same spirit we got now, right? But let's read it though.
Huh. Verse 20. So I considered the world, and
Mm-hmm.
behold, there was pain because of the devices that were come unto it.
Right? Read on.
And I saw and spared it
And he
and
said he
have
spared it
kept
greatly. Read
Shlakia
on.
and have me a grape of the cluster
Mm-hmm.
and plant of a great people.
Meaning he kept a remnant. That remnant
God.
goes into what?
Isaiah 11
Some
11.
no, the remnant, stay with
Oh,
what we at. That goes into
Shlakia.
Deuteronomy. It's Isaiah 11:11, but it also goes into what Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 38 and 39, going into uh how he kept Caleb and Joshua and the people that was with them. Right? He had that remnant too. That's just going through different captivity. When you say Isaiah,
Con.
that's a different captivity. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. Con.
Verse 11, verse 22.
Verse 22. Let the multitude perish then,
Right? So guess
which
what? The
was
multitude in the wilderness did perish. Read.
which was vain,
Uh-huh.
and let my grape be
Mm-hmm.
and my plant, for great labor have I made it perfect.
For great labor, meaning what? Going into circumcision. Right?
Con.
It's one part of it. And
Con.
when we go back to Joshua chapter 5, right? We'll start at verse 7.
Con. To Joshua chapter 5, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And their children, whom he raised up in their stead,
Mm-hmm.
them Joshua circumcised,
Them Joshua circumcised, read.
for they were uncircumcised,
Right?
because they had not circumcised them by the way.
Meaning what? They didn't do it according to the law, like on the 8th day,
Con.
right? Because you got to know, even during the time, even during the time of Paul, they circumcised. Paul was Paul was watch this. Go to Philippians. Go to Philippians chapter 3. Let me show you. Paul was born a Pharisee, so that means he kept the law too. Watch this. Philippians chapter 3, start at verse, start at verse 3. Watch this.
Con.
Watch this.
The book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For we are the circumcision,
Mm-hmm.
which worship God in the spirit and rejoice in Hamashiach Yahushua and have no confidence in the flesh.
So now this is Paul telling you about we are the circumcision. And he said we have no confidence in the flesh, meaning what we wasn't on a corner type of time. But watch this though. Watch this read.
Con. Verse 4. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh,
And it's going to explain why you got confidence in the flesh. Read.
if any other man thinketh that he hath wherefore he might trust in the flesh, I more.
So he said, if you trust in the flesh, Paul telling you, he said, I probably at that time when he was corner, and he said, I had more confidence in my flesh than you had. Meaning what? I was a corner man. I was more corner than you, right? But watch this.
Con.
Paul himself, during this time, Paul got circumcised too. Watch this, read.
Con. circumcised the 8th day,
Mm-hmm.
of the stock of Israel, of the tribe
Mm-hmm.
of Benjamin,
Read.
and Hebrew of Hebrews, as touching
Mm.
the law, a Pharisee.
So even Paul himself did what? When he was born on the 8th day, being a Pharisee, what happened to him? He got circumcised. So don't think that he was keeping the commandments too.
All the way through.
So that lets you know from even the time of the children of Israel coming out the wilderness, this is Paul right now speaking. He's showing you that he got circumcised too.
Con.
So when the Christian, you can try to run all you want to and try to say what it is, but no, Paul himself got said, he tell you, I got circum. I'm a Hebrew of the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's something they got to understand.
Con.
Yeah, now we go back to Joshua chapter 5. I just wanted to show y'all that because Paul himself said he did what? He got circumcised too.
Con. I was going to testify what he did. Either it's
That's
good or
right.
bad, he going to put it on the line.
That's right, man.
All right, so let's see, verse 9. The
Verse
book of Joshua.
8.
Will we read
Verse
it again?
8.
Okay. Come. The book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 8. And it
No,
came
we
to
never read
pass,
it. Yeah, we read it. Read on. Go ahead.
and it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, they
Mm-hmm.
abode in their places in the camp
Mm-hmm.
till they were whole.
Until they were whole. Read.
And the Lord said unto Joshua,
What do you
this
say?
day I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from all.
Right? Meaning what? He was trying to take the curse of that land and the curse of that spirit off of them, man. He lifted that
Done.
spirit off of them, man. Read on.
Wherefore the name of the place is called Gal unto this day.
All praise in the Most High. And that's the land that they kept what? Passover in, like I
Passover.
was touching on. This is the land
Done.
that if you read the next verse, it'll show you that they were keeping Passover, but we ain't gonna touch on it. But
Done.
I wanted to kind of touch into the circumcision so brothers and sisters can kind of understand about circumcision. So when you read it and it's about circumcision, now we want to have, like you say, you want to have a better understanding where circumcision come from and why they even touching it on this on the New Testament,
Done.
right? I won't. Mm, 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 mm. Let me see. Go to Jeremiah 25.
Done.
Jeremiah 9 and 25. That's what I want.
All right.
I'm gonna go back to that. I need to go back to that. Yeah.
Done.
So
The book of
this is the
Jeremiah.
reason why. This is the reason why
Lucky.
when you reading these things, like when you go to the New Testament and you reading these things, and they start talking about circumcising this, when they talk about circumcision of the heart and of the spirit in the New Testament, this is the reason why. Because they have when you have get uncircumcised ears and mouth, these things right here comes to pass. Read this, verse 25,
Done. The
26.
book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, chapter 9, verse 25.
Read it all the way
Behold,
through.
God, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised.
Right. So the
Egypt.
Lord said he gonna my bad. He said he
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
that's why he said the days come that I'm gonna punish what? The uncircumcised and the circumcised. You're gonna punish them both together. Right? Some of my brothers and sisters got to understand that the Lord said he gonna do, right?
God.
Meaning what? The circumcised done got with what? The uncircumcised. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
God, verse 26. Egypt and Judah and Edom and all the children of Ammon and Moab,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that are in the utmost corners, that dwell in wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
For all these nations are uncircumcised,
Mm-hmm.
and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart.
Right. Now, this explaining to you saying all these nations are uncircumcised, meaning what their spirits are not right with the Lord. They don't have a good spirit on them. They mean these nations are in sin. These nations are, and that's why he had to separate it to make to give us a better understanding. Because if you could be circumcised in the flesh and still be uncircumcised in what the spirit,
Hmm.
right? That should give brothers and sisters understanding. You can be circumcised in the flesh, but you still can be uncircumcised in the spirit. Go back to Romans
Con.
chapter 3, man.
Romans 3. Con. All right.
Uh Romans chapter 3 and verse 3 and 9.
Con. The book of Romans, 3, verse 9. What then? Are we better than they?
Mm-hmm.
La. In no wise. For we have before proved Jews and Gentiles that they are under sin, or all under sin. Flakia.
They are all under sin. So who can be all under sin? When it's talking about Jews and Gentiles. The people that was given the circumcision. Right? But watch this read.
Hmm. Verse 10. As it is written, righteous. No, not one.
Right, read on.
There is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God.
Read on.
They are all gone out of the way. They are
Mm-hmm.
together become unprofitable.
Right,
There
read.
is none that doeth good. No, not one.
That's why the Lord said he'll do what in Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 25.
He gonna punish them.
He gonna punish them
Mm-hmm.
together. Right?
Con.
Read it.
Their throat is an open sepulchre. Sepulchre. With
Sepulchre.
their tongues. With their tongues. They have used deceit. The
Mm-hmm.
poison of asp is under their lips,
Right, read.
whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood.
Man, he said this ain't
Destruction.
nothing but
Oh, Slack.
commandments. Read. I said this
Gun.
ain't this is all the stuff the Lord tell us not to do. Read.
And he said stuff that he hate too.
Yep.
Destruction and misery are in their ways.
You in the spirit, read.
Gun. And the way of peace have they not known.
Right?
There
This
is no fear of God before their eyes.
so guess what? This is a person being yeah, this is explaining to how a person can become a circumcised person, can become uncircumcised.
Gun.
Romans chapter 3 is showing you how a circumcised person can become uncircumcised. Right? This is right here. This is going into a circumcised person becoming uncircumcised. All right? But let's read on.
Mm-hmm. Gun. Let's see. Now we know that what things so the law saith is said to them who are under the law,
Mm-hmm.
that every mouth may be stopped,
Mm-hmm.
the world may become guilty before God.
So guess what? Now, brothers and sisters should have a better understanding of this.
Mm.
Everybody that's under the law, meaning what? Meaning what? Everybody's under the law, what? It says now we know that what things soever the law said, it said it to them who are under the law. Under the law, this is going on to what? The law of what? Circumcision.
Sin and death. Oh, I about to say sin and death. Yeah, I said the wrong
And
thing.
this go into the guess what? And it, I mean, Shalaki, not law of circumcision. It goes into a person that's under the law. Meaning what?
Gun,
Us. We're under the law,
gun.
right? Meaning he said that
Mm-hmm.
every mouth that may be stopped, that all the world may become what? Because our mouth can become what, brothers and sisters? Uncircumcised.
Uncircumcised. Gun. That's
According
powerful.
to according to what? Exodus 6:30. Your lips can become uncircumcised, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your lips can become uncircumcised, right?
Taking on the ways of the world. That's
Taking
how
on the
we.
ways,
All praises.
meaning your ears and your lips can become uncircumcised. You can take over to those ways and become that person.
Gun. Gun.
Verse 20.
Verse 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Mm-hmm.
For by the law is the knowing, the knowledge of sin.
Because by the laws and knowledge of sin, meaning what? Israel, you can step yourself over there to be among the uncircumcised, and you can become one of them. That's why when we read in
Gun.
Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 25, like the Lord said, man, you done made your heart uncircumcised with them. We can
Gun.
become, we can step over into that lane too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can't step over into our lane. That's the point. Our circumcision can come back to what? To our God, because we was given circumcision. They was already uncircumcised. They never was circumcised with us. We was circumcised. The Lord already made us circumcised, but we made us what? That's why Joshua had to circumcise what twice.
Gun.
You understand it? That's why Joshua has to circumcise twice. All right. Because guess what? Joshua also knew what? He also knew the ways of what? Egypt. But Joshua did what? He chose the Lord.
Gun.
So with that, man, I hope brothers and sisters had a better understanding of what circumcision is. I hope
Mm-hmm.
they can, guess what? Uh, chew the meat and spit out the bones, man.
Gun.
Uh, what law I want for the day? Leviticus chapter 26, verse 41.
Gun.
Y'all share the video. Yeah, I hope Dub listening too. But we already know Dub, if he is listening, he listen, trying to get some ammo to fight. I want, hey, yeah, why you think I started out? I've tried to get them precept that can help them go home and study that book, gone, so you can bring something else. So some more of the Bible can get unlocked.
Gun.
Make make us go into that like you say, wake some more spirits up in us that we can tap more into our forefathers, man. Go on and tap us
Gun.
into the next level if they want to. I want them to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Gun.
Right?
Turn us up.
Turn us up, man. Hype me up, man. Hype me up.
Okay.
I hype me up. Come on,
Gun.
hype us up, man. For real.
Gun.
All praise, man. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and
Right?
have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Mm-hmm.
If then their uncircumcised hearts humble, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity,
Mm-hmm.
then will I remember my covenant with Jacob,
This
and
is the
also
reason
my
why.
covenant. Oh, Shalakia.
This is the reason why it's telling us it's telling the children of Israel can only do what it didn't say all these nations. It's talking about the children of Israel, the only one that can repent from the circumcision. Brothers and sisters better understand that. They got to be punished for theirs. We already going through hell and high water. They got to get it too. That's why the Lord
Gun.
said we're gonna be punished for our iniquities. Right? Verse
Gun.
42.
Verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with, and
Mm-hmm.
also my covenant with Isaac. And
Yup.
also my covenant with Abraham will I
Mm-hmm.
remember, and I will remember again.
And the Lord said He remember our land, man. With that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. Thank you, both for tuning in. I know it's a bit
Uh,
longer class than I normally do on Monday, but I wanted to kind of touch on some stuff. Like you say, Captain Benaniyah, I know he be in the midst of the heated battle, and brother be doing good works, man. To my brother be doing
God,
damn good work. So I be got, I be tuned in a lot to try to see what they go in, and I kind of touch on that thing, man. So with that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High and the Son Yahushua. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all like y'all share the video, help us push the truth in the four corners of the earth. With that, let me
God,
say shalom.
shalom, shalom.